Welcome to this BPS Limited fact-finding documentary on Dolen, a historically preserved village that nestles in the western part of the Rhodope Mountains. Dolen is only 30 kilometers from the Greek border and 70 kilometers from Bansko. The nearest airport is at Plovdiv, with seasonal charter flights direct from the UK or Sofia Airport for all year-round access. Featured in this program and exclusively brought to you by BPS is a unique and highly desirable Dolen property that will be the envy of all who see it, but more of that later. Dolen is a hidden gem, only known to those who seek out simply the best rural locations in Bulgaria. The wonderful thing about Dolen is the fact that it is a living and working village with a pace of life that is timeless. The people are warm and friendly and welcome strangers with open hearts. People in the village live in total harmony, following their own personal religious beliefs and doctrines. They live side by side and work hand in hand to harvest the crops. They share the task of caring for the livestock in the fields, and on a quiet summer's evening meet and sing traditional songs. The area is also rich in archaeological history, with Roman remains scattered far and wide. The wildlife is rich and diverse, and an ornithologist's dream. Unlike the UK, you are free to roam across fields unrestricted. So if you take pleasure in walking or horse riding, or simply enjoy watching the rural way of life pass you by, then Dolen is the ideal location for such pursuits. One of the main cash crops grown in the area is tobacco. The architecture of the houses in Dolen is typical of the western Rhodope region, the majority of the houses being built of stone walls with flat stone roofs. Narrow cobbled streets wind their way between the houses. Now to the featured property. This is not simply a dream holiday home, but your own castle, as entry is by means of your own private electronic drawbridge. With a simple touch of your remote, the bridge glides down to expose handmade wrought iron gates. Passing through these gates, you enter a tranquil and completely private world. The garden and house are protected by a grand stone wall. In the corner of the garden is a magnificent hand-built barbecue, with an oven big enough to cook a complete lamb. As you turn to look back from where you have just descended, one can only be overwhelmed by the height and size of your holiday dream home. The house is dominated by the glorious chadak, which is a typical Bulgarian covered veranda. From this chadak, one can access the 3 good-sized double bedrooms and the second bathroom. The master bedroom, having windows on 2 sides, offers magnificent views over the valley and the historic Dolen church. Only a 20-minute drive from Dolen is the spa resort of Ognjanovo. One can spend a lazy day simply sunning yourself by the pool or swimming in the healing waters. There are quality restaurants and cafes on site. Crossing into Greece couldn't be easier. Kavala on the Aegean Sea can be reached in only 1.5 hours. One can swim, eat your favorite grilled fish, and be home in time for supper whilst resting in the cool of the evening on the chadak or in the secluded garden. Bansko is about 1 hour drive from Dolen, so one can use your family holiday in the winter for skiing on some of the best runs Bulgaria has to offer. The nearest large town close to Dolen is Gotsidelchev, being a 20-minute drive from the village. Here, one can find banks, well-stocked shops and good quality cafes and restaurants. The townsfolk are warm and friendly and used to foreign visitors, as the border crossing is a short 19 kilometers drive away. Back to the house. On the ground floor there is an impressive saloon area, combining the kitchen and sunken dining room, with seating that can accommodate up to 12 people. This whole area is dominated by the grand and tastefully built fireplace. This fireplace has a back boiler and will heat all the house radiators, so your family will be wonderfully warm for their stay in the winter. Also on the ground floor is a bathroom and utility room, with plumbing for both dishwasher and washing machine. Now let's have a look at the 3 bedrooms I mentioned earlier. Next to the house is the wonderful Dolen church, built in 1837, and being famous for its renowned icons and a splendid hand-carved cross donated to the village by one of the Russian Tsars. All in all, your Dolen holiday home will offer you the best that Bulgaria has to offer. In the summer, one can have long lazy days soaking up the sun at the local spa resort or by the Aegean. And in the winter, ski on some of the best Bulgarian ski slopes at Bansko. For further information, please do not hesitate to contact BPS Limited regarding this amazing and unique rural holiday home in Dolen.